Karen and I met through mutual friends. We just started dating and then started spending a tremendous amount of time together, and we just clicked from the beginning.
We consider ourselves a couple since January of 1990. That's the significant anniversary that we celebrate.
We decided to get married because people really fought hard for that right. Even though we were truly committed in our hearts and everyone treated us as a couple, that marriage just meant more as an institution and how society views couples who are married versus those who are not. And then having a child added that additional layer of to provide as many protections and benefits as possible for a family. We thought it really made sense to get married. After we got married, we thought it was important to try and take advantage of the full benefits of married couples for federal employees.
I've been at the Ninth Circuit now for about 21 and a half years. I received a call from somebody in Washington, D.C. who confirmed that Amy was a woman, and I said yes, and then she said, she can't be added to your health plan. When I got a letter from Chief Judge Kozinski saying a hearing was going to be held in Pasadena on a particular date in November, at that point is when I picked up the phone and started calling around to see if I could get representation.
When the case first came in, we had anticipated that it would be an administrative hearing and that would be the end of it. We won in front of Judge Kozinski and he said Amy could have her insurance, but the executive branch said it wouldn't comply with his order.
My employer had supported me and said that Amy should be added to my health benefits plan under the court's own EDR proceedings. The government refused to comply. They had multiple opportunities to do so. And then it felt like, well, they're leaving us no other recourse than to go file a federal lawsuit. It did feel like a big deal to go to federal district court and to see my name as a plaintiff suing essentially the United States of America. It felt like a very big deal. The Attorney General and the President of the United States looked at things with a fresh set of eyes after they were already involved in it and said, you know what, we can't defend this any longer. This is discrimination. This is wrong, and we're not going to do it.
Because the Obama administration had determined that DOMA was not constitutional and could not defend that law in the courts, the House Republicans decided to take it upon themselves to take up the defense of the statute.
Saying that the case should be dismissed and they should win on summary judgment, and the government came forward and said, no, he shouldn't be dismissed, and in fact did a long section showing the history of discrimination that lesbians and gay men had had at the hands of the federal government.
Just seeing that history committed to paper, it made it really difficult, I think, in many ways, for the court to turn away from the history of discrimination.
That was really, really moving to me, to see your government basically say, we did wrong and we're sorry. That's huge. That's like when you feel proud to be a part of this country.
I remember being in my office and I printed out the decision and my phone started ringing and reporters were calling and people who are on our team were calling and my mom was calling, but I didn't answer the phone because I just wanted to enjoy the decision and to read it from start to finish and really celebrate what Judge White had done.
The Supreme Court hearing was amazing. You see these people on the news and you read about their questioning and their decisions, and then to walk into this grand building, and it's the whole setup is built up for you to feel the grandeur of the place with the justices up on, an elevated platform and these huge chairs. And then they were talking about, gay married couples with tremendous respect for our relationships in a way that I was pretty sure wouldn't have happened even 5 years before. It was incredible when the SCOTUS blog came and, DOMA unconstitutional. And we pulled out the iPad and we're trying to read the opinion while we're trying to read what's going, the commentated. It was just amazing. And then our phones start pinging because everyone is texting us and the phone starts ringing. It was wonderful pandemonium.
It's all a blur of excitement and only good feelings. We were really relieved. It was like, phew, you know, you're on my plan, you can stay on my plan. And to be frank, it's well beyond the healthcare. I mean, that was what our case was about, and it's huge, but it affects over 1,000 federal benefits in terms of marriage.
I thought this case was high stakes on a whole new level, not only because of the important tangible benefits of marriage that were being denied to so many people, but also because of the emotional impact that the Defense of Marriage Act had. I think reading Justice Kennedy's opinion, in which he pointed out how this act demeans and humiliates same-sex couples and their families, it really brought home that issue to me.
Lambda and Morrison Foerster were incredible in this long process. We just got to know each other because 5 years is a long time, and they were so fierce in their representation of us.
At one point, I don't know when it was in the litigation, and it's not that I spend time analyzing who's gay and who's not, but we realized the entire Morrison and Foerster team, I think everybody working on it was heterosexual, and people felt so much passion for our case, and Rita was always so righteously indignant for us. It was kind of funny because I think the people who from the Lambda team, when you're gay, you're almost used to being treated a certain way, and you're used to the discrimination, and you realize when people are heterosexual, it seems so obscene to them. And to the Morrison and Foerster team, it was obscene, and they fought so hard for us.
For them to say, no, that's just not right, that's not right, it was great. It was refreshing, and it was, we felt so supported by them. And one of our friends, who also is straight, but happened to be at the Judge White hearing and saw Rita represent us, came out and said, Rita rocks. And that was definitely our phrase for Rita in our household from that point on.